Well, hello ladies and gents, welcome back to another video, and you join me back at Thamesmead. So I've got about 25 minutes. I was very early today getting back to Thamesmead, so thought I'd film a little video. I suppose I kind of want to mix this all into one, like driver's hours, shift patterns, you know, that kind of thing, stress, like all. I kind of wanted to bundle it all into one video. So if you just see me look over there, obviously that's not me looking at the time, so I do apologise, but yeah. So I've had a bit of a stressful morning, to say the least. So I'm on the same due as I was yesterday and the day I filmed my POV and the accident video, which hopefully should be out by the time I post this video. But yeah, so it's been a bit of a hectic morning. Obviously, still kind of in the rush hours, like 9 o'clock in the morning. So it's kind of the end of it, but like it's still very much like, you know, within the rush hour. You know, because I'm constantly worrying about my headway, you know, obviously trying to keep up with the driver in front. He's just gone, so my headway marker was all the way to the left, which means I'm basically like, you know, he's like probably like 20-30 minutes ahead of me. So it's like, it's stressful, you know. I was under a lot of stress, and obviously when you got a lot of passengers, it's like, oh, you know, it adds onto the stress. When you got car drivers, van drivers, lorry drivers who just don't want to play by the rules and drive safely, you know, it can be very, very annoying, very dangerous, you know. And then on top of that, you've got a green road, which obviously tracks your driving technique, you know, how fast you're accelerating, braking, all that kind of stuff. So I had that go off, because yesterday I was very proud of myself. There's about, I think, about 113 drivers on the 177s, and I was number one. So I was at the top in terms of pretty much the best driver on the route. I lost it yesterday because I broke too hard coming up to Sellars. I didn't see that the wait sign was lit, and I braked hard and I lost it. And it didn't help on that day as well. Went around a corner too quick at the start of, because I did Plumstead Garage to Thamesmead. So the first full trip from Thamesmead to Peckham, yeah, I went around a corner too quick. It was the first roundabout, so I was very, very frustrated with myself. But yeah, you can tell by my eyes, I'm very, very tired. I'm very, very tired. But yeah, so I had that go off again today. So I'm not too happy. I'm hoping in a minute it will come up. Like the trip I've just done will come up, and hopefully I can rest easy knowing that at least, you know, this trip wasn't, you know, a failure. But yeah, so all those things accumulate stress, you know, because like a lot of drivers, I don't get it personally, but the controllers just keep on, like, you know, ringing and be like, why are you 3 minutes early? Why are you 2 minutes early? To be fair, I've not experienced that, because from Plumstead Garage on, like, to Thamesmead, I wasn't on perfect headway. I was one marker to the right, and they didn't call me to say, like, why haven't I corrected it? But a lot of drivers have experienced that, those kind of controllers who are very stingy about it. I've not experienced it, but, you know, you have that on top of, you know, obviously the road, pedestrians, cyclists, moped users, scooters. Even though they're illegal, they're still on the road. You know, you got your green roads, you got, you know, your passengers. Like, all these things, you know, accumulate a lot of stress. So what do you think the best way to relieve that stress, you know, and bring your stress levels down? Rest days. Like, bus industry is terrible for when it comes to giving drivers the time they need to rest, you know. A pretty good story I have. I was on my lunch break maybe yesterday or 2 days ago. So they know I'm at work, and yet they phoned me to ask about overtime, even though I'm at work. Like, what do you want me to say to that? Like, it's even in my meal break, I can't get peace and quiet. I can't just switch my head off, you know, and just relax. You know, I'm still getting harassed, you know, and that's the biggest problem in this industry, is the harassment when it comes to doing overtime and working your rest days. You know, like, I get it, they've got a job to do. Obviously, I'm not disputing that. Everyone's got a job to do. We drive the bus, the engineers have got to do their job, they've got to fix the bus, the allocation team have got to allocate duties to drivers. You know, when they've got, you know, duties that need to be covered, they've got to find drivers. I get they're doing a job, but it's still frustrating when you're trying to switch off. You know, it's like they love it when you've got a long weekend off. So you've got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, and you're back on the Monday. They love to call you on those days. But I think, I get, like I said, I get they got a job to do, but it's like, and let me just chill, let me switch off, because it's not easy, this job. It's stressful. I've just listed some of the examples where you get very stressed. I mean, just driving the vehicle alone is stressful. You've got to worry about so many things: your mirrors, your blind spots. You've got to worry about your passengers on your bus. You don't want them to fall over and all that stuff and claim against you and the company. Because it's stressful. And I don't think we get enough. We just don't get enough time off. I mean, if I think about it, we get 8 rest days a month. That's it. That's 8 days off a month. You may get lucky, and obviously your holiday may fall into one of those months. So yeah. Because in January I had a week off, so that was nice. I think my 2 weeks off that I've got coming up is end of June, start of July. So I've got 2 weeks off then. But you see, even then, it's a long time to wait to get some time off. It's a long time to wait. But yeah, because normally you do 6 to 7 days in a row, and then you have your 2 days off. So the way because our weeks start on a Saturday. So a new week starts on a Saturday and ends on, the end of the week will be the Friday, and the start of the new week will be the Saturday, following that. So if you had your rest days on Sunday, Monday, the next rest days will be Tuesday, Wednesday. So it moves across. Think about it like a grid. So you've got Sunday, Monday, and then below it is Monday, Tuesday. You just move it you move it once. That makes sense. So if you're off Sunday, Monday, you're then going to be off Tuesday, Wednesday. Then the week after that, Thursday, Friday, and then the week after that, Saturday, Sunday. So that'll be your long weekend, and then you're off Sunday, Monday again. So that's how pretty much it works. But yeah, it's a lot. 6 to 7 days in a row. I prefer doing 6 to 7. I find for some reason 6 days goes quicker than 7. I'm doing 6 days right now, and we're already at Thursday. When I'm filming this, it's already Thursday. So you think I've only got 2 days left, and then I'm off again. But 7 days just seem to go so slow, especially if you're doing late shifts. Late shifts just for some reason it just drags and drags. It's weird, but yeah. So I mean, when it comes to driving hours, I mean, your first half you can only do 5.5 hours of driving. Then you have to stop for your break. You get a minimum. You're legally required to have a minimum of 30 minutes. They normally give you 45 minutes. It just gives you that little bit of extra time in case you're running a little bit late. But I mean, today I've got an hour and a half, and then tomorrow I've got just over 2 hours. So it can vary in terms of the duty you're doing. You can get longer because it's all about what we call spreadovers. So spreadovers, you can be at work for a maximum of 16 hours a day, but you can only drive for a maximum of 10 hours. So you think that little period there, you could have a 2-3 hour break in the middle and then drive. Do you see what I mean? So it can be good because, especially for someone like me, my contract is sign on to sign off. So from the time I clock on, to the time I clock off, I get paid. It's minus 45 minutes for it's either minus 40 or minus 45 minutes for my break. I can't remember what it is here. I can't remember. It's either 40 or 45 minutes you lose. Do you think you got a 3 hour break? You're still getting paid for you're still getting paid for 2 hours, 2 hours 15 minutes or whatever it is. So you're still getting paid a lot. You still get paid a really good amount. But a lot of older drivers, especially on the older contracts, they get paid more. They get a daily cap. So it doesn't matter how long the duty they do is, they get paid the same. So for example, this isn't true figures, by the way, I'm just making numbers up. Say you get paid for a day's work is £600. Yeah, so it doesn't matter if you do a 4 hour duty or a 10 hour duty, you get paid £600 no matter what. Whereas for someone like me, it's all based on sign on to sign off. So we want the longer jobs because we get paid more. whereas they get the same amount no matter what. And that's where the division lies. Division lies in the industry. You know, is obviously they get paid. They definitely get paid more, but they get to work less. Whereas we don't. We have to work longer to make more money. You know, and it's that case of like, well, what would you rather have? You know, I mean, obviously everyone, like, especially for me, a good job. When I say job, I mean duty. We just call them jobs. A good job for me is like 6 hours 45 minutes up to 7.5 hours. That's a good job to have. You know, I've got one coming up that's like 5:20 in the morning till like 12:57, and I'm only driving for like 6 hours 40 minutes of it, or 6.5 hours. So that's great. That's great, you know, and get to chill. You know, have a nice long break. You know, nice easy first half or second half or whatever, whichever way round it is. You know, it's lovely. I've got about 10 minutes left, but yeah, I'm trying to think of stuff to say. So I don't plan these videos because I didn't expect to have 25 minutes stand time, because I didn't think I was that early. Because normally I'm not, especially like, you know, with like everything going back to normal now. But it's stressful. This job is a great job. I love this job. I've wanted to do this since I was about 10 years old, because my stepdad does this job. He used to work in my garage, but when the 99s went to Dartford to Arriva, he went with the route. So I've been around buses my entire life. Since I've known him, I've been around buses. So it's been my childhood dream to do this one day, and I've done it. You think I'm only 20 years old. I know it's probably hard to believe I'm only 20 years old. It's a bit sad as well that I'm in a job like this at 20. But you want a stable career, you got to start early. But yeah, so I love this job, but the stress that comes with it is if you really want to be a bus driver, I'm not trying to deter you away from it, but I'm trying to give you a reality check of what it's like. So I do some of these videos. It's a great job. If you love driving all day, perfect job. If you don't like people, don't like customers, if you don't like any of that, might not be the job for you. If you don't like working unsociable hours, long hours, ain't the job for you. And I've got to be honest about it, because you're doing like 10-hour days, and you could be driving for like 8-9 hours of them on some jobs. You know, so you've got to weigh your options there. You know, if you love driving, great, go for it. I'm not going to stop you, but you've got to see both sides of the story. You know, there's always two sides to it. You know, we get abused a lot. You know, I'm not going to say some profanity that's been said to me, because if any of them who've said this watch this video, I don't want to give them any, you know, like brownie points. But it's not nice, you know, especially when you get fare evaders and all that stuff. You know, it's like you're just doing your job. You're just, you know, I mean, but I will say, when it comes to that, it's always good when you've got coppers on board, because if they give you crap, you could just go, mate, I've got coppers on board. You wanna start, you know, chatting some shit. I'll just go on the PA announcement. I'll just make a PA announcement to them. Can you ask for assistance? And they'll come down and they'll, you know, kick you off the bus. But when but you're on your own most of the time, so it's like you have no backup, you know. But yeah, it's just, if you really want to do it, do it. But if you can't handle stress, it might not be the job for you. You know, I mean, at this point I'm just rambling, but, you know, I'm just trying to think of stuff to say, really, because again, I never prepare these videos. But I'd say still do it. If you love your office being, you know, if you don't love a static office, if that makes sense, you know, your office is always changing. You know, 1 minute you're in Thamesmead, the next you're in Deptford. You know, your scenery continually changes. That's why a lot of people become train drivers as well, because they love, you know, different scenery. They don't love being in a static environment. Oh yeah, you could go, well, the cab's static, it's always going to be the same. But you get out and about, if that makes sense, you know. You're constantly moving, you know. But it's great. But when it comes to the stress part of it, it's the driver's hours, you've got to really, really weigh up your options. And this is where, as well, you've got to know the law, because you've got to remember, a lot of people go, well, it's the employer's responsibility. No, it's half their responsibility. Half of it's yours, and half of it is the employer. You are just as responsible for your driving hours as they are. You know, so if you know you're coming up to your 5.5 hour limit for your first half, you know, ring up iBus and say, look, I've got half hour left, you know, before I have to stop driving to have a 30-minute break. I don't think I'm going to make it to the changeover point. What do you want me to do? And it'll be like, you know, they might be like, all right, well, I'll have to contact the garage and have to tell the driver to get on a bus and meet you halfway and take over halfway, you know. Because obviously if you start driving over the time, you're breaking the law. It's your fault, you know. Because when there was a time in, I think it was either December or January, Blackwall Tunnel fucked up. Like, at one point, you know, like, I think there was a traffic light issue. I think there was an accident there. So literally everything was packed. Like, nothing was moving. And I mean nothing. Like, it was to the point where I was 2.5 hours late coming off to finish my shift. I was 2.5 hours late finishing my shift. And I was lucky. I had about 15 minutes left before I had to stop driving. 15 minutes left. Could you imagine if I was stuck for an extra 15 minutes? I'd be breaking the law. And when I, you know, like, give in my duty card, they will say to me, why have you gone over your driving hours? And it won't be a case of, you know, they get in trouble. It's you who get in trouble. That's why sometimes it feels like there's more against you than there is to protect you. And, you know, so, but yeah, I've got a couple of minutes, so I'm just going to end it there, because otherwise I'm going to rant for even longer and bore you. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about stress, hours, shifts, that kind of thing. But yeah, if you have any more questions, obviously leave them in the comments and I'll try and answer them. Obviously what I can answer. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe for more content. Hopefully I'll pump out some more videos soon if I ever get 25 minutes on the stand unexpectedly. But yeah, I hope you enjoy, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.